Explosive news, folks. Wow. Here, just 40 minutes ago, I get another email, and this one's a doozy. This one's so big. To go through this, it's emotional. It's unreal how much USA really does love us. When Donald J. Trump says Canada, the 51st state, cherished, how much America loves Canada is an understatement. And here I am preparing for this presentation on all these evils of the Prime Minister of Canada and all of these premiers. And it's true. It is true. But Americans, everybody, just shockload me. I'm not American. I'm Canadian. I'm raised the same way in the same institution as every other Canadian. And it never, ever ceases to amaze me. Even the anger, the rage, and honestly the hate I have in my heart for the things I've learned and my country's corrupt, filthy system. USA never, ever ceases to say, yes, great, but here's the rest of the story of your country, and just the god-awful of it really tying in this last email. And I had a great sleep, folks. I probably would have slept through except for the alert. And of course I'm watching for them, especially in light of we're going to submit this morning. And I probably could have slept a few more hours, but after reading this latest email, it's I'm not going back to sleep. No, there's no way. And I want to get into it. It ties in Texas, the Foolish Pride, which is now Canada, and the Foolish Pride. Folks, I have Bruce County, Bruce Power, Darlington, former Chalk River, Ontario, all packaged up in that string, that we went through on X. And you hear that American calm, rational, going through, hey, you guys, try this, and this is what you got to appeal to, and go through all these ideas calmly, smoothly, without hate, even though faced with that hate. Americans just take that, yeah, we get it, we know the world is shit, basically, calmly. And I'm trying to articulate it as best I can as a Canadian, everybody. And for Americans, you're obviously very different than us. The way you see things, the way you'll take the brightest of the light, even in that darkness. And it was emotional reading this email tonight, everybody, as it goes through my country and the Americans' view of it, what's happened with Canada, our monumental achievements, great, everybody, great things that Canada had with USA that we've lost. And really it started in 2008. And folks, it's central to Iran and the former Supreme Leaders crazy. They were using Canada and USA relationship and nuclear, highly enriched, as their example. And folks, I want you to understand something. What I've just learned tonight, hours before I submit a very harsh, mean against the Prime Minister and premiers, and it's deserving. It has to be said. It has to be showcased tomorrow, as a whole bunch has been added to the supposed blank slate tomorrow. There's lots, and I'm not going to publicize everything, because the petitioners are going to get that. They're going to get that by this weekend when I answer, and of course after I've submitted tomorrow. But America has a whole other side answering me too. And it's really the light in the darkness that I couldn't even find, because it's so dark when you're in it. It's like being in the prison. You know what I mean? I don't know. I guess not everybody knows what I mean. But if you're ever wrongfully in prison sometime in your life and you have to live that with no hope at the time and all of that, and you're like, you're at the bottom. And it's kind of where I'm at with Prime Minister Mark Carney and several of our premiers. The reality that our entire political system is junk. It's a broken system that none of them will let go because it enriches them. And there's a foolish pride. It's the Texas foolish pride of 185 years ago. And yes, that makes me angry. And to find the kite strings that Mike Waltz and company basically share with me tonight, that there's all these beautiful things, there's all these brilliant things that Canada proceeded with in our terrific universal health care, transcending the world and saying to Iran, look, here's us successful in non-proliferation. In fact, we gave up all of this with USA, and we made all this possible. That was the Canadian people in district model universal healthcare beyond any other nation in the world. On the level of Nortel, the USA flies that kite string to me tonight to say, your country did this from 2008 onward just to appease backstabbers. Backstabbers, folks. UK and France are proliferators, and for a time in Canada, we were proliferating on a level against the law, international law. We were called out by UK and France, whom UK was in the European Union with France, and they have allowed all those non-proliferation countries to proliferate for UK and France and absolutely for the European Union. That's a fact. They're all fucking Canada backstabbers. We're watching UK and France now. There was a reason, folks. Donald J. Trump brought Germany to USA and paraded him in front of the whole world, in front of the news, online. And it's so sad how intelligent Donald J. Trump is, how tuned in this man is, because it was gut-wrenching, heart-pounding email I just read, actually standing up for the greatness of Canada in this darkness. Not that everything in our letter and our petition is 100% correct, crummy, crusty, and god-awful, but it's the result of not only because of the UK-France backstabbing of, yes, largely Ontario, who is named, and this is about absolutely the Great Lakes. It's about our mining products that we did use in a proliferation capacity medically for the United States and the United States out to the world. Canadians, you were making money, and America was paying you rich rewards in royalties for that and allowed you an industry-based system for that. They did. And then Ontario turned to China when they had to close that to stop Iran. Well, I can tell you in this email, UK and France stabbed us in the back. They stabbed America in the back. America takes that all unto itself. Canadians, you've lost revenue you secured with the United States since 2008, shutting it down 2018, and then making the healthcare changes only achievable in universal district healthcare, extreme high-end technology, you Canadians, your government, your provinces created to go around. The sad part is the rich reward in at least the mining now goes out to China, UK, France, where they build all their industries and replace yours, Canada. This is the kite string. This is Canada, the 51st state. This is President Donald J. Trump saying, just do the Texas transition. Stop. The world's against you. They always have been, always will be. You're our northern neighbor. You're in our sphere of influence. We are the most powerful economy in the world. Do not, out of foolish pride, go that route. Give up everything you had to go down from high technologically advanced industries down to primary mining and sell off without the royalty returns is what your prime minister and your premiers are doing to try and salvage against the United States. Not because of the United States, but because of UK, France, absolutely Russia and China. Russia and China always will, because they're not in your sphere of influence. They will replace your industries and replace that high-tech, high-end things that you Canadians created. You advanced in your universal health care beyond all others in the world, hitting way beyond your weight. And how did you do that? Because you created a one and only American district model that even the United States doesn't have, and is very limited and made nearly impossible without an actual state of the union with that in place to force it through their Supreme Court, who will rule in the state's favor. This is not negotiable, whether interpretive or literary, meaning whether Democrat or Republican justice. At the highest independent judiciary in the United States, Canada, the 51st state, promises that. All of that you're sacrificing, Canadians, and you have been since, which was really well articulated tonight, that you sacrificed since 2008, costing you tremendous revenues for you, the people of Canada, that at least your government participated in for 70 years. That's right. Beyond any other country in the world. Nobody beyond you. And now your technology you created, you've lost access to because of proliferation. And to your credit and your healthcare's credit, you've found another way, but everybody else is using what you created. They're using what you created. Now you mine that creation out of the dirt and you give it away to all these countries who are using what you created in your industries, your R&D, and they're using it and they're filling the void against you. Not your friend, your enemy. It's exactly what happened to Texas 185 years ago. They did not find any allies out in the world like that particular government said, beating Sam Houston for the election, taking president of Texas, and then they went bankrupt within 5 years. USA is saying, Dave, take this information, this kite string. I've tagged US American media in this. I'm sitting on intelligence that really should be sent out to American media. And maybe the US government did. Maybe they did. But they still write the garbage stories. They still remove all that truth. Truth that Canada abandoned so much just to help the world. And the world is evil anyway. And it didn't help the world. And then here's Canada in its foolish pride, won't accept the cherished 51st state, meaning all of these industries across Canada. And yes, largely a lot favored in Ontario and Quebec. But again, folks, these are high-end tertiary industries, meaning if you had them in place, and you'd be 100% restored to 2008, absolutely before the crash. You would return to that Canada as Canada the 51st state. USA could make that possible. USA fought for you and lost in UNSC. They never got penmanship, and you can literally look at UK and France as the reason you didn't, or they stole your technological developments. Now they're stealing your raw resources that feed that technological advancements for them and them alone, and they fill you on that economic stage. Their GDP went up while yours went down. And your prime minister is serving that in the face of it's evil. It's monumental evil. But even in that, America shows the light, the strings that, Dave, look at the good of this, that you can use this to promote Canada, the 51st state. And I am going to transition that. This petition, this darkness we highlight, this that we put the Prime Minister and the Premiers on. The next one is Canada, the 51st state. The next one is me answering decades-old evils against Canada and why we need to immediately pursue Canada, the 51st state, for all First Peoples, all Canadians, and accept the greatness of Canada that we did as a country and continue that in a union like the European Union that your politicians scream out, we're going that way. What's wrong with the American Union? What's wrong with being a state? Like a country is a state, a UN state. You get that as a 51st state, Canadians. You get more power than you've ever had. And all the greatness that you've lost returns immediately. That's the kite string I have right now. From Mike Waltz. I'm sitting on it. I'm probably the only person in literally 300 and probably 50 million people with this kind of information. Sitting here going, holy shit. And when you're in the darkness, when you're in the prison, you can't find this light. This is America going, Dave, it's okay. Let us show you. Let's connect some dots. Your country's been screwed too. We know you're badly abused. That was us too. We know our history. We're not Canadian. We don't blank slate. You can't see this because you're too far in the darkness. There's too much evil around you. Here's the light for you. Take this string, Dave. Post the work we do tomorrow. Post this submission. I'm going to run the kite string off our submission. I'm going to highlight all the greatness of premiers in the past, prime ministers of the past, and what we've lost, and what they didn't tell you, what media's not telling you. Pure evil. And if CNN especially doesn't run this, if CNN doesn't run this truth in the coming weeks, wow, America's in big jeopardy, folks. You know, and that's scary. Or any American media. Where's Fox on this? Where's ABC? Where's CBS? Where's New York Times? Are you really, you people? Are you so for the evil of the world? Are you so hateful of your own people in your country? Are you so hateful of development, progress, human evolution, human civil rights, that you would wantonly go back to that evil for what? Some payoff? What kind of Americans are you on that side of the equation. They have to know this stuff. How can there not be journalists with $1 million budgets not digging this stuff up? How can I sit here with this? Why does the left media not pursue these things? Why do they not look at Canada's universal health care? Why is that not the first thing the left should be doing? And I mean, to his credit, Bernie Sanders. But then again, too, why are you, Senator Bernie Sanders, not taking all this going forward? And maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should be sending all this post tomorrow morning. Maybe when I fly that kite, maybe I should be hammer blowing this out to Bernie Sanders, hammer blowing this out to CNN, ABC, CBS, New York Times, and Fox News, going, why are you all not talking about this? This is your country too. America's your country, is it not? Do these things not matter to you? Light in the darkness. Like, why do people want America dead? Why do they want Americans on the hook for the evil of the world at all times? Why do Americans need to suffer? Why can't we be proud of ourselves and our achievements and our democracy? Why can't we spread that? Why is Monroe so wrong? Why is Donroe so wrong? European Union isn't wrong. Everyone, oh, glorious European Union, who steals too, just like China, who steals epically. And then you got UK and France doing a number on us. Canadians, Quebecois, and the rest of Anglophone Canada. UK and France have been doing dirty numbers on you since 2008, at least in the email I got. And then they just sat there and they didn't go with USA on the latest. Really damning Canada. I'm serious. Damning Canada's industries in the high-tech tertiary side. Damning you to hell. Devolving you into primary sector where now they utilize all the technologies you Canadians came up with. You did. Hitting way past your weight in a district model universal health care, using technology and then merging that with America. And that's all gone today. That's all gone today, but can be restored and will be restored immediately with Canada, the 51st state. After tomorrow and through this weekend, when I finish all the petition as it is, have all that promised and submitted, because it has to be in this month of March. And of course it has to be before the 25th, and it will be, everybody. But after that, I'm going with the positive. I'm going with all of these kite strings. I know at the end of March, all this UNSC USA communication's going to end as they lose their presidency and I go back into the darkness. But it doesn't change the emails we have, precedent setting, everything I have. This latest on Canada that's like really emotional, man. It's wow. America sees the light. Even in the darkness, they always find the light. That's the most beautiful thing about being an American. And that's something I really want to have. God bless everybody. It's going to be a great day. I know this will pick up speed later today. Get it shared. Get it out there. God bless you all. It's all wonderful. It really is. Just epic scale knowledge. Unbelievable knowledge. I have so much to go through and share. Just like, wow. Love you all. Bye now.